Hello again. So I've thought for the Daily Blob channel, I will probably come in and start talking a little bit about my lived experience as we push the ball of Silicon Dojo forward. I'm excited. I'm excited. I finally feel like Silicon Dojo is really getting some traction. Not here in Asheville, not here in Asheville. In Durham, North Carolina, I think we're going to be getting a lot of traction. So, anyways, I just can't deal with politics anymore. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Bill Maher is literally talking about retiring because he's just like, you know what? I can't spend four more years talking about Trump. And it's like, I feel you, brother. So, anyways, I figure maybe for these videos, I just talk about the lived experiences and the things to think about as you push your particular ball forward. Now, you may be asking, Eli, is Silicon Dojo a startup? Eli, is Silicon Dojo a tech business? Oh, my friends. Silicon Dojo is a fever dream. Let me just be completely clear here. I feel like I've been saying this a lot lately because people have been getting very serious with me. And it's like, yeah, it's a fever dream. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. Hey, remember that? Remember that in the technology world when people used to do things because they thought it was a good idea and they wanted to see what would happen? Remember that? Probably not. Some of you folks are probably too young to remember those days. But that's how the world of technology business used to be. It used to be throw a lot of crap against the wall, and then whatever sticks, you draw the bullseye around that. And that's how you get your bullseye, as a guy Kawasaki used to say. So, anyways, I'm very excited. Went to Durham yesterday, so there's this thing called the All Things Open meetup and conference. Anyways, after the biblical flood here in Asheville, we evacuated to Raleigh for about a week and a half. I met some good folks up there. I went up there to the All Things Open conference a few weeks ago. That was absolutely amazing, and I really looked at it, and I think the Research Triangle Park, that area, so Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. There's some nut meat in there. There's some nut meat this geek is gonna be going after, right? So I've been trying to figure it out. And so one of the things I've been thinking about is like creating like an Asheville to like Research Triangle pipeline. So we've been doing Silicon Dojo classes online with Zoom since July. We've done like almost 30 of those classes since July. Started the in-person classes again here in Asheville, just using a little conference room type area. And I was going to Durham, trying to figure out like how can we do these classes in Durham? Because again, they've got there, they got IBM, they've got Red Hat, they've got Microsoft, they got all kinds of tech up there. So how can we do this up there? And so I went to American Underground. So there's this co-working place in Durham called American Underground, which is amazing, just amaze balls. You go in there. It's a nice, beautiful facility. They've got floating desks, and they've got permanent desks, and they've got all kinds of office space, and so many classrooms, so many conference rooms and classrooms. And they have a classroom that fits up to 40 people. And do you know how much it's going to cost me to get a 40-person classroom? $200. And you're going to be like, wow, you can get a 40-person classroom for $200 a day? That's a damn good deal. And it'll be like, yeah, that is a good deal. But you know what's a better deal? $200 a month. A month. So basically, if you get a floating desk there, you get access to all the classrooms and all the meeting rooms and that kind of thing. You can get access to any of your visitors, including up to 40 freaking students, to get into the building. And basically, it's unlimited. I mean, it's unlimited. Probably don't get stupid about it, but $200 a month. So we gonna be doing some classes in Durham. So yeah, in January we're going to have our first series of classes up there, and this is all. I'm lining up this story so you understand the point of what I'm about to talk about in a few minutes. So I'm excited, right? I am just over the moon, right? So yesterday I go to Durham. So basically the idea is going to go to Durham, going to go to American Underground, going to meet somebody that I know there in Durham now or in that area. And it's going to go to the All Things Open meetup. And basically, that's what I was gonna do, tomorrow, or yesterday, and the things that I was looking at is basically finding a classroom in the Research Triangle area. I thought that was going to be a couple months long, tedious, god awful process. One of those things where business just takes time. Like you go, you schmooze, you talk with somebody, you trade emails, you send an email, they send an email. Somebody doesn't respond to that email for a long time, then you send a follow-up email, and they say, "Oh, budgets are coming up," and then there's a whole whatever's going on. Yeah, I just thought getting a classroom would just be horrible. I just thought, oh, that'd be horrible. And anyway, so basically, I go to American Underground. I get a nice little 1 hour tour. I talk with the people. They talk with me. They love what I'm doing. They love the idea. I love them. It's just a love fest. Again, I gotta say, Research Triangle, they're the nicest geeks I've ever met in my life. I'm not sure they should exist. I do distrust. There's a bit of distrust there. But anyways, so anyway, that's great. And then I go to the All Things Open meetup, and the All Things Open meetup is huge. Over 300 people RSVP'd for this meetup on AI workflows, not on ChatGPT. How to use ChatGPT to create a marketing plan? It was an AI workflow. I only understood about half of it. To be crystal clear, yeah, I only understood about half the words. But basically, that over 300 people RSVP, well over 200 people showed up, and then at the end of it, the guy who runs it, this guy Todd, like really likes me. I don't know why. I don't know why. God bless him. We're gonna go with it though. The guy who runs this thing like really likes me, and so like in the beginning, I'm just sitting in the back drinking my little water, my little teething water, and these little alkaline waters I take everywhere to keep myself from drinking beer. Anyways, I'm just in the back, standing up the way I do, drinking some alkaline water. And in the beginning, he's like, "Yeah, I want everybody to know Eli, the computer guy's here." I'm like, "Hi." Anyways, and then the end, basically he's doing the final wrap up. And then he was like, "Oh, Eli, the computer guy's doing some interesting stuff. Eli, tell him what you're doing." I'm like, "What?" And I'm like literally like checking my like phone because I'm getting ready to go. I'm like, "What?" And so then I go into my spiel. I go into my spiel. Authorityless, gatekeeperless, free to end user, hands-on technology education that empowers you to do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Blase, blase, blase. So, anyways, it was just a fucking fabulous day. It was a fabulous day. Like I can't beat it, right? I got 2 months of work, what I expected to be 2 months of work. I got that taken care of in an hour, basically. Uh, I got this great shout out, got this great way to do an elevator pitch to hundreds of tech professionals in a room that actually care. Like everything's going great. Everything's great. So, anyways, I gotta go talk to a person. And there's this line. There's this line to talk to a person. Because again, you go to these things, there's certain important people. I had like 3 people in my line. This person had like 10 people. It's how it goes. Anyway, so I'm in line and I'm talking to a life coach, which actually is kind of interesting. It's an interesting idea. Basically, they've decided to be a life coach for IT people, which actually, I have to say, is not a bad idea. Oh, no snark. No snark, right? Because think about it, IT people, oh, they know how to code. They know how to code. They're not necessarily good at life. They're not necessarily good at life. But that was kind of interesting with this whole thing. And again, it's what I wonder what's going on in the larger macro forces of society. So I'm talking to this person and then talking about he's doing his thing. And I'm like, yeah, I ran into that problem with mommy daddy issues because they brought up mommy daddy issues. And I was like, yeah, that's one of the problems that I run into when I give advice or mentorship is it always ends up being mommy daddy issues. Like I want a nice discussion between SQLite and Postgres, or Postgres versus MySQL, or Python versus Node.js. You come for my mentorship. Do I use DigitalOcean or Linode? That's what I want to discuss. Oh God. It always turns into mommy daddy issues. It always turns to mommy daddy issues. But the funny thing was, I was telling person that, and I'm like, and I don't care. I just do not care about your mommy daddy issues. Not 1 ounce of me. But the first thing they go into is, well, what you need to tell these people. I was like, I don't care. Again, it was interesting. I'm like, hey, this is experience, and this is their business. So their business is life coaching. My business is not life coaching. So they didn't hand me a business card or whatever. It was just what you need to do. I was like, okay. But anyways, it was funny. So we go back and forth and we're talking. And then it was interesting because then they turned to me and they're like, yeah, so what are your goals? I don't know why people do this to me. It's like 9 o'clock at night. Like literally, it is 9 o'clock at night. I drove 4 hours from Asheville to Durham. I had a meeting at American Underground. I then stayed there to do work. I then met the person that I wanted to meet. From there, I go to this meetup. At the meetup, I'm then sitting there staring at Frank like 50% of it I didn't understand what the hell they're talking about. Then in the end, I have to do like this pitch like off the cuff. And then all of a sudden I get this like life coach. What are your goals? And I'm like, I'm just tired. Can we all just stop doing this? I get this so much. Like I'll be done. I'll be done with like a 12-hour day. I've worked like a 12-hour day. And then I'll get this person in my face. What are you need to do? I'm like, nah, dude, I need to go take a nap. But the funny part was, I was like really pushing, like get goals. And then it was like, dude, I don't know. Well, you need to figure out what your goals are. I'm like, dude, I'm not hiring you. We just talked about the other people have mommy daddy issue. I don't. My issue, I'm tired. I'm tired. Anyways, but it was funny. And then we go through this very uncomfortable moment. And then I'm like, I don't know what my goals are. Man, I knocked out my goals for the day. He's like, what do you mean? And then, talking about American Underground and all that. He's like, oh, well, then you completed your goals. Then you need to celebrate. It's like all this like, I'm like, I need to go to sleep. I need to talk to the person that I need to talk to. And then I know to go to sleep. What I find interesting about this, again, like there's this macro forces, what's going on like societally, is this huge push from everybody to tell you what you need to do without taking the time to figure out what it is that you are doing, right? I think about this. I've talked about this before where my wife and I went to a party. So years ago, back when we lived in Baltimore City. Oh, that was a long time. We've been together like 19 years. So I don't know, 14 years ago? Anyways, 14, 15 years ago. We went to this New Year's Eve party. And it was interesting because like, again, at the party, like a couple people did this. Again, they started talking about their mommy daddy issue. I wasn't doing advice or mentorship or anything. It was just a party. It was just a party. Go there, get drunk, have fun. Um, and like this whole mommy daddy, like, anyways. And afterwards, I was looking at my wife. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Again, none of these people don't need to find help. None of these people don't need to talk about it. But why the hell am I hearing about your whatever? And she was like, oh, Eli, it's therapy. I was like, what is it? What do you mean? She's like, it's therapy talk. Basically, all of these people go to therapy. And so when they go to therapy, this is what they talk about at therapy. And they go to so much therapy that they think this is what you talk about in the normal world. I was like, what? Yeah, it's like, so it's therapy talk. And so this was like 15 years ago. And what I find interesting, like in the modern world, I think about this like with social media, is we've gotten in this weird social media world where everybody feels like they should talk. They should be the influencer. They are putting out in the world. And I feel like it's social media talk. Like you sit there and you start talking with somebody. What do you do? Blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden they start telling you what you need to do. And you're just looking at them, or I don't know about you, maybe you love it. I'm just looking at them like, I'm tired. I'm tired. I had my checklist. I didn't just complete my checklist. I completed like, rah, right? I went to stretch goal. I stretched the stretch goal. I'm fine. There's like, what you need to do is, I think about that with, again, I was at an entrepreneurship event a few years ago. Still pretty new to Asheville. And so anyways, it was like we do entrepreneurship week here. Anyways, again, with Silicon Dojo and all that. And I've been working all day. And so I'm in line. There's this guy in front of me. He's like, yeah, so give me your pitch. And then I was just tired. I just wanted beer. I just wanted beer. I didn't have my teething water back then. I went straight for the beer. Anyways, I just wanted my beer. And so we're in line. He's like, yeah, so what's your pitch? And so I gave him, I don't know, a pitch. But then there was a thing, right? Again, I'm in my 40s, man. I'm way too close to 50. I am close to 50 at this point. Anyways, all right, I'm at 40. So I give a pitch. And then I look at him and I laugh. Because in my 40s, I've been doing entrepreneurship for 20 plus years. And I go, haha, man, I am so tired. I think that was all the parts of the pitch. But honestly, I might have put the end of it first. I might have mixed it all around. So yeah, you can listen to those words. Those words are all components of the pitch. So if you can figure out how to reshuffle them, you might get a pitch that actually makes sense. And I laughed. I laughed. I was like, I was smiling. It was a nice day. I wanted some beer. I was just done. You never know who you might be talking to. And I'm just looking at this guy. Do you know I am? And it's just like, I don't care. I'm tired. I want a beer. I want to sit down. But it's funny. And then like the guy, like the person like shoved their like little QR code in my face. You need to scan my QR. I'm like, no, I don't. It was so funny because he like shoved it in my face. He's like, you need to scan my QR code. I was like, I'm not. I'm gonna go drink a beer. But it was like this funny thing. It was like this funny. It wasn't funny. I still get irritated about it. But it's like this experience, like, rah! And so I think it's just one of those things that just kind of consider when you're out in the real world and like you're dealing with people. Because I think about it at this point, right? I've been doing tech. Again, however you feel about me, however you feel about me. I understand. I get it. I know it's, I've been doing tech literally for 30 years, right? I got my VOTEC or whatever degree in entrepreneurship. Again, DECA, Distributed Education Clubs of America. We had a VOTEC entrepreneurship program in high school. I completed that. I literally, what was it? I competed in the national tournaments back in the day. I have my degree, I have my bachelor's degree, I have my military experience, I have boot camps, right? I got a million people following me on YouTube so they can learn how Python functions work, or God knows why they follow me anymore, right? Again, I'm getting close to 50. And even at this point in time, like that's my question. That's like my question to the world. When will people stop? When do I become old enough and experienced enough? People stop telling me what the fuck to do. And I don't think it's going to happen. And I don't think it's going to happen. And I'm going to put that on the table for you because I know I got a lot of 20-year-old viewers out there, 25-year-old viewers, 30-year-old viewers, 41-year-old viewers, 41 young 41 whippersnappers. And what you're going to run into, especially when you get into the entrepreneurship world and startup world and all that kind of stuff, you're just going to have a tremendous number of people all trying to shove their crap down your throat and not even taking 30 seconds to figure out what the hell your situation is, right? Because again, that one business person who's like a business consultant or whatever, I guess he was probably doing like a hard sell. He was trying to do a hard sell. I don't know, maybe I'd hire his consulting services. I don't know. Why am I gonna hire an asshole? Anyway, maybe that was a hard sell. But like I say, the interesting thing with this person, like them being a life coach and then being like, rah. It's just like you're literally a life coach. You're selling life coach services. There's so many sales things where I'd still want to deal with you. Like you're like, oh, so you do mentorship and advising, and you don't want to deal with mommy daddy issues, especially if you're doing classes here in Durham. Hey, I want you to know, I offer this program to folks, right? They can sign up for X amount of money and they get 5 sessions with me, and I help them work through the thought process of of their mommy daddy issues. Or it's like, oh, or if you're dealing with people, oh, you're dealing with some people with some mommy daddy issues. Hey, look, here's my website. Right on my website, I've got a lot of blogs or videos or whatever talking about how people can deal with their mommy daddy issues. You can get past that or whatever. Right? There's this huge. There was a sales pitch there. There was actually a sales pitch there. Instead, what I got is I got grilled. What are your goals? Bite me. Bite me are my goals. Oh, but anyways, maybe that's just my snark coming out. Maybe that's just my snark. So anyways, as far as Silicon Dojo is going, I'm pretty excited about it. Again, I have found I am now talking about it as a fever dream because I'm getting more and more of these people and I don't really know what to do with them because they've started giving me the serious looks. It's funny, like being in the business world for like 30 years now. Like there's just trends. There's just trends that come around. Right? Like with Steve Jobs, when the Steve Jobs biography came out, every startup founder decided they had to be an asshole. Why? Because Steve Jobs was an asshole and he was Steve Jobs. Ergo, they had to be assholes. I that's not how it works. But anyways, I saw it, right? I was there. I read the Isaac Isaacson, whatever. I read the biography like, within the month that it came out, and it was amazing when I was being around all these startup founders. All of a sudden, like I said, like within 2 months, they were all being jackasses, because that's the way it goes. And one of the things I'm noticing now, right? Again, there seems to be it's this intense. They look in your eyes. Like they don't really say anything. They don't really ask you probing questions. They don't put anything on the table that's valuable. It's not like they put something on the table, you're like, ooh, that's valuable, and then they look at you. They just kind of like look at you. It's like there's this presence. Like they're trying to present this presence. Do you know who I am? No, no, nobody. Nobody, because no, I don't care. But anyways, it's an interesting thing to be thinking about right now, because again, that's where like I'm going out, and again, like with Silicon Dojo, I'm feeling pretty comfortable with it. Again, with all this kind of stuff, you pivot, you figure it out. But anyways, I've got the online thing that's going well. Asheville's doing whatever the fuck Asheville's doing. Durham, though, again, I think I have a lot of interest going on in Durham. I think there's a lot of value there. But again, like like what is it? What is Silicon Dojo? Again, it's like this crowdfunding. It's like a fever dream. Like literally, I was talking business. So I was told that I should talk to this person. And again, it's a business person. He explained to me the freemium model. Do you know what it's like to sit down and have a meal with somebody that you think you're going to have like a business conversation with? And they're like, well, you know what you should think about. I was like, oh, what should I think about? Well, see, what you do is you offer one tier of your classes or whatever for free. It's like, yep. And we only have one tier. There's one tier of free classes. And that's the only tier we got. Anyways, one tier of classes for free. And then what you do is you step up and then you have tiers. It's like you bring them in with the free product and then you get them to buy. And I was just looking at this girl and I'm like, yeah, it's called a freemium model. I literally have told you I've been doing YouTube since 2009. I've been doing YouTube since before people knew what the hell YouTube was. And you're literally explaining the freemium model to me. Why? Seriously, why? But anyways, I think that's one of the interesting things I'm finding now. It's like there's this again, it's like and I think it's like the social media vein going through like the entrepreneur, startup, founder community of like everybody's got to be the guru. Everybody's got to be the person that's telling you. But it's kind of like without Hall, Isaac Isaacson, this is that Adam Walter Isaacson, sorry, Walter Isaacson, the Walter Isaacson book about Steve Jobs being an asshole. Is it like you miss a lot? He was not successful because he was an asshole. One of the components to who he was being an asshole. How that helped him with the success is a bit questionable. Again, that whole thing of like being the authority. I think that's what a lot of people think now. Is like, I need to be the authority. So therefore, they're going to talk to everybody with authority. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, you do need to talk to people with authority, once you figured out what the hell they're doing. Once you have already fixed in their mind that they should give a damn what the hell you have to say. Once you've proven in some degree that they should give a damn about you and they agree, once you have listened enough to what they're doing to understand their situation, then they have already agreed that you are an authority figure. You have understood what situation that they're in. Therefore, from a place of authority, you can give them some advice. Right? That's how it works, boys and girls. Unfortunately, what you get is you get these people and they read like half the book and they go, oh, I need to be the authority. And so then they just come out and keep acting like an authority, even when they have no idea what the hell you're doing and have not in any way, shape, or form submit to the fact that should give a damn whether or not they get hit by a bus tomorrow. Um, so it's one of those things to be thinking about. If you're going to be doing a startup or business or anything right now, be careful with the people that look at you straight in the eye and then start giving you authoritative whatever. If they have not taken the time to prove to you why you should care that they exist, and they have not taken the time to understand what the hell it is that you're doing, they're not an authority. It is weird. I was talking to this one woman. I was talking to this one woman recently, and yeah, and then she said like the eye thing. Well, I've lived all these places. I've been in the tech world. Like, what have you done in the tech world? Oh, I've been in the tech world. Like, okay. Do you like SQLite or Postgres? Oh, I'm in the tech world. Oh, great. SQLite or Postgres? What? Exactly. Anyway, and it's like this is very weird, where she's like looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. This isn't a discussion. That's not even an argument. You're literally trying to stare me down. And again, wait for it. It was like 9 o'clock at night, and I was kind of tired. So, anyways, the real world, the lived experience of being a founder. When somebody gives you crap, just say you're doing a fever dream. Like literally, that is now my go-to. When I start getting the people staring at me or whatever, I'm like, dude, it's just a fever dream. Well, what's your profit loss? Oh, I know what it is. You don't need to know what it is. What's your plans for the future? Oh, I'm thinking. I'm going to wake up in the morning tomorrow and I'm going to drink a cup of coffee while I have a chihuahua on my lap. What? Yeah, that's my plans for the future. Anyways, so those are things going on. So I think with the Daily Blub, I'm going to try to do videos like this or talk about this kind of stuff. Because again, it's some interesting business stuff out there. Again, beyond the whatever life coaches that don't listen. But also things like just to realize that like the resources that are available to you that you might not realize. Again, this place called American Underground. So for Flex Desk at American Underground, it costs $200 a month or $199 a month. For $199 a month, you get 24/7 access and you get to sit at a Flex Desk. And I got to tell you, their Flex Desks are probably better than their dedicated desks. I probably shouldn't say that. They were showing me their dedicated desks, and I was like, I'll go with Flex. So how much more do I have to pay for the Flex desks? Oh no, they're cheaper? Okay, I'll go with those. Anyways, right, $199, you get Flex desks, which I think are better. It gives you the conference rooms that allows people to come in. Not only that, but if you're actually trying to spin up your business, so get contractors or whatever else, apparently, I got their paperwork today. It's only $100 more per month per additional member on your contract. So if it's you and an assistant, that's $300 a month. If it's you and 3 other people, that's $500 a month. Think about this. So 4 people, you and 3 employees, contractors, whatever else, you can pay $500 a month. That gives you a place for everybody to come to, high-speed internet, conference rooms, blase, blase, blase. Fucking amazing. And again, this is a thing like even like people like me don't quite believe it exists until it's there. Again, like I was going through and I was looking at all their office, their conference rooms, and like they have a classroom, a 40-person classroom. And I was like, wow, how much does this cost to use? And they're like, it's part of your membership. And like, what, the $199 a month membership? Yes. How many hours do I get in the classroom? Unlimited. When you say unlimited, it's like, well, you do have to schedule it, but you're basically unlimited. But I mean, 40 people, so that's only 40 members, right? Like, what if I need people to come from the outside world? They're like, well, we just give you a temporary code. It's like, wait a minute. So for $199 a month, I can basically have unlimited usage of like a classroom that supports up to 40 people. and I can allow up to 40 people from the outside world to come in for these classes. They're like, yeah. Again, and that's the point they start looking at me like I might be kind of stupid. They're like, yeah, we've already said this 5 different ways. And I'm like, yeah, okay, we're gonna ask this question about 10 more ways because I'm not quite sure I believe it. But again, that's the kind of stuff that is actually out there in the real world that you should take a look at. Because again, it's weird. It's like when you don't know resources exist, everything seems insanely expensive. And then you find out resources exist, and you're like, oh, that's cheap. Again, like think about it. Like when I had the classroom here in Asheville. I paid $2,100. Anyways, $2,100 a month, basically for a classroom that could fit 12 people. Now it was my space and I could decorate it and all that kind of stuff. $2,100 a month for 12 people, $200 a month for 40 people. In an area where they actually give a damn about technology. So anyways, I'm very excited. If you don't know about silicondojo.com, go to Silicon Dojo. Go to silicondojo.com. We have all our classes, Zoom classes and all that are scheduled. Asheville classes are scheduled. Durham, North Carolina classes will be coming up shortly. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm not excited to get stared down. I'm not like it really is. It's weird. Like in the past week, anyways, maybe by the time I'm 60, maybe by the time I'm 60, people will stop talking to me like I'm an idiot. I just don't understand. It's like I've hit all the marks. And again, like that's what I want to understand for the 20-year-olds. You're like, why would people take me seriously? Like, I've hit all the marks. I've hit all the marks. Right? I'm married, got a house, financially doing fine, world famous, been in the tech industry for 30 years. Like again, like I may be doing harebrained things, but I do it from a well-resourced, well-experienced starting place. And yet people still treat me like I'm a damn idiot all the time. So I'm wondering, like, is it 60? Is 60 the magic number when people stop treating you like a moron? I don't know. Inquiring minds would like to know. So if you're sitting there and you're like, damn, why are people treating me like I'm an idiot? And you're 20, don't worry. You've got at least, 28 more years. At least 28 more years. I don't know, maybe 49. Maybe 49, I'll turn the corner and people will start treating me like I'm not an idiot. Probably not, though. Probably not. Anyways, see y'all later.